Thank you. Great communities have thriving arts and cultural programs. And today's speaker, Margot Knight, has worked tirelessly to enhance the quality and variety of those opportunities in Central Florida and at UCF. The president of United Arts of Central Florida for the past 6 years, Ms. Knight previously held several positions promoting history and the arts in Washington State, Idaho, and North Carolina. She also is a strong supporter of the hospitality industry in Central Florida, and she serves on the board of the Orlando-Orange County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Her efforts have been recognized locally and nationally. The Girl Scouts Citrus Council honored her as a woman of distinction, and she has received the prestigious Michael Newton Award from Americans for the Arts, a nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing the arts nationwide. Margot, we thank you for your support of the arts and of our university. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Margot Knight.
Thank you, President Hitt and members of the Board of Trustees. Your enthusiasm out there is absolutely contagious. And then when I walked here and saw the signs for the party platform, I was really excited. I am deeply honored to have been asked here to join you today, but those of you who just listened to that kind introduction or read the program, you know why I was asked to be your speaker here today. I'm a knight. Go Knights. I understand they've already contacted my brother about speaking next year. Now, and I have been charged, because I talk to people, with the Herculean or perhaps Sisyphean task. You philosophy and literature majors know what I'm talking about. In the grand tradition of commencement talks, I have a duty, nay, a sacred obligation, to deliver the most forgettable speech you are ever likely to hear. It is a daunting challenge. What possible source of inspiration, you might ask, is there to ensure forgettability? I racked my brain. Eureka, I got it. Pliny the Elder's dissertation on the Peloponnesian Wars, or perhaps the father of modern history, Herodotus, or as I call him, H. Rod. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire, completely forgettable. But as you history majors in the crowd can attest, that would take far longer than the 8 remaining minutes that I have been assigned. So I thought, I'll be hip. You know, perhaps I could connect with today's graduate through popular music. One of my goals in life, and I commend it to you, is to try to look smarter than I actually am. They put a doctoral robe on me. I only have a BA. It's great. So I turned on my teenager's radio station, O-Rock 105.9, and listened for the wisdom that Drew Garabo and Sexy Savannah might have for today. And I heard this gorgeous song. Maybe you've heard the tune. It's a group called Blue October. It goes something like this. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Gorgeous tune. And I thought, what do those lyrics have to tell me that can help me with my message today? Hate me today, hate me tomorrow. Hate me for all the things you didn't do for me. It just wasn't the message I was hoping to inspire you with today. So I went back to my letter of invitation. Please offer the students insight that is unique to your experience. Now trust me, nobody here wants that. I skipped 44 days my senior year of high school. I attempted to take my own life more than once. I got kicked out of the college dorms my freshman year. You just heard me sing. I have just enough talent to make me miserable. I wanted to teach high school, but I forgot to learn how to coach football. Is that still a requirement? Then I worked as an itinerant waitress, and let me get the polite term, I was a go-go dancer for a little while. I taught myself how to count cards at blackjack, and I obtained my first professional job at the age of 26. It was years before my parents were proud of me. Hell, it took me years and $1,000 of therapy to be proud of myself. So, all I have left to share is my heart, a story, some observations, a couple of quotations, dreams, wishes for you, and last but not least, a piece of advice from my grandmother, who was also a knight. So here goes. In 1978, I met a woman who was a Romanian princess, a refugee. Whenever the going got tough, she would pull out her official files with the official royal seals and the official genealogy to boost her spirits. I was green with envy, so I started the Princess Files. Every complimentary letter, every attagirl, every piece of praise, every award citation, today's Orlando Sentinel clip that has my name in it, into the Princess File. When life looks bleak, when I have said the wrong thing or have gone too far, or when a project has failed, or I feel rejected and unloved and miserable, I pull open the drawer and I look at those files. I remind myself that if I succeeded before, I can succeed again. Start that file today. 30 years from now, you'll thank me. It will be a gift to yourself, to your accomplishments, and to your children. And when I leave my desk job, it's all I'm taking with me. And here's a dream I have for you. Give voice to your heart. Make room in your life for service. Give blood. Serve on a nonprofit board. Vote. Provide an internship. Write a check. Walk into every room and say, there's more I don't know than what I know. Walk into every room and believe that the people that surround you are more like you than different than you. Do things that make you feel warm and gooey inside. Because, you know, we lead these solitary lives inside these shells. We're certain nobody feels like we do, or has the problems we have, or has the secrets and dreams we have, and it's just not the case. And I'm not talking about this fake, self-indulgent confessional culture. You know, it's a crazy world we live in, where things that ought to be public are private, and things that ought to be private are public. And I don't think you have to go on Oprah or Dr. Phil. Just know that if you follow the Red Queen's advice in Alice in Wonderland, and you say what you mean and you mean what you say, you have a boundless ability to change the world. All you need to do is feel. Feel at one with every other human being on the planet. And then listen to them. Don't wait for other people to stop talking so you can start. Listen, learn, serve. And as my sister-in-law, I love my sister-in-law, she's got a tattoo that says, "No heroic measures," over her left breast. Love that. Be kind, and be kind. She signs all of her emails. Here's my other dream for you. I would not be doing my job or giving voice to my heart if I didn't entreat you to make room in your lives for art. And I'm not talking about being an audience member, though I want all of you to do that regularly and often. I'm talking about taking on the regular challenge of expressing yourself creatively. We all sang and danced and play acted when we were good at those things, or we got embarrassed because we were good, or we got laughed at, or someone took us aside at Thanksgiving dinner and said, well, that's all well and good, but don't you think you should major in education or business to have something to fall back on? Unleash your inner artist. Surround yourself with beauty. Buy the original art of your classmates. Dust off the high school clarinet, pick up a paintbrush, find a community theater or a choral group. Art and opposable thumbs are the only things that differentiate us from the rest of the animal world. Use them. The power of art, actually, is right here on the university's backyard. That magnificent bronze horse is the rallying point for thousands of you now. UCF board chair Rick Walsh, who is passionate about the need for such a piece of public art on campus, told me he's already received 4 holiday cards that use that as a backdrop. Art gives you a sense of place. Never underestimate the power of art to illuminate an idea or to reflect your soul's desires. Ask for more of it. in hotel lobbies, in your room, in your home, on the street, in your kids' schools. Now, here's a quote I live by, and a quote that I sometimes regret that I live by, and I looked at some of you walking in. You are regretting this quote as well. The road to wisdom is paved with excess, for one can never know what is enough until one knows what is too much. William Blake really got us. He knows we are what I call a touch-the-stove species. We are not too good at learning from the experiences of others. We've got to push our own limits, fall into the potholes, make our own mistakes, touch the stove ourselves. We're just not too bright about learning lessons from the past. But I guess that's what makes us the maddening, unpredictable, magnificent creatures we all hallucinate ourselves to be. Take risk. Rock the boat, question authority. Don't like the world? Change it. Having said that, my Army Colonel father would be disappointed if I didn't tell you that manners and ceremony and ritual count, but only if they have meaning. Be a charming skeptic, politely but vehemently disagree. You can accept and bestow honors as graciously as we are doing here today, but the credit and the praise and recognition are fleeting. It's the work that goes on in between that counts. You can never go wrong by taking the high road. I'm a big believer in what I call the exchange theory of credit. Think of credit like umbrellas in rainy Seattle. You see one and you need it, you take it, and you leave it for somebody else. Sometimes you will get credit for things you had almost nothing to do with. Say thank you, and think of all the things you did that you never got credit for. Now, if that works, in the end, it all works out on the balance sheet of life. I am a Girl Scout. Thanks for recognizing that, Dr. Hitt. I love the inclusiveness of the organization. I love getting badges. I love the campfire song, "Make new friends but keep the old." Look around. You will never make new old friends. The bonds you've forged through all-night cram sessions, play rehearsals, flirtations, tailgate parties, broken hearts, you name it, they will last you a lifetime if you work at it. The friends you've made here will forever be a yardstick to measure where you've been and where you're going. Fuel them. Make room in your life for serendipity. Fuel your friendships. Now, serendipity, I gotta tell you, I almost threw this whole speech away last night because I went to a Chinese restaurant and I got these great fortunes, and I thought, what if I just had all these fortune cookies unopened and I just cracked them open and read them all? Because I got this fortune which belongs to Dr. Hitt. And so I'm gonna give it to him right now. This is the serendipity in my speech. You could prosper in the field of medical research. Has anybody ever gotten that before? Is that the most bizarre fortune? 2007, I'm winding up. 2007 is your lucky number. You are graduating from a university that aspires to be the nation's leading partnership university. I say it all the time. There is not a single enterprise in Central Florida that is not better when UCF gets involved. Make John Hitt, this blue-eyed babe sitting behind me, your role model. Hang your diploma on the wall and hang that tradition of partnership in your heart. As you launch enterprises of your own, think about who needs to be included to make the project everything that you can be and that it can be. And keep the partnership with the university too. Give back at whatever level and whatever resources make sense to you. You became an alum the minute you stepped on campus. You owe a debt of gratitude to the knowledge and the courage and the friendships and the confidence that you acquired here. Do whatever you can to pay it back and pay it forward. You never know when you're making a memory, sings Ricky Lee Jones. So before I conclude, I will ask you to do what you've already started to do, what comes naturally. Forget. Forget me. Forget what I've said. Just don't forget to remember not to let the robot take over your life. Don't forget to remember to take pleasure in every living day on this earth. don't forget to make your life a life that is anything but forgettable. Part of this day will be forgotten, but the love of your family and your friends, the respect of your faculty members are as indelibly inked and as impossible to remove as any tattoo. So, last but not least, the moment you've been waiting for, the promised advice from my Grandma Knight. No intelligent person gets married before they're 25 years old. Go Knights!
Margot, that was the most memorable, forgettable speech I've ever heard. And I want to congratulate you on finally overcoming, at least for these moments, your shyness. And did you once see me get my trio out? Not once. Great speech. We thank you for being with us today and sharing your observations and your grandmother's advice. Won't you join me in giving Margot another warm round of applause? Well, we reached that happy time in our commencement exercise when degrees will be conferred. I call upon Dr. Jose Montes Codra